my fellow Sierra Leoneans. Our country is currently faced with an existential threat due. Our country is currently faced with an existential threat due to the raging impact of drugs and substance abuse, particularly the devastating synthetic drug Kush. We are witnessing the destructive consequences of Kush on our country's very foundation, our young people. In spite of our government's efforts to stop the proliferation of drugs and substance abuse in Sierra Leone. This deadly Kush, which knows no boundaries of class, ethnicity, gender, or religion, or communities, tearing apart families and robbing us of our future leaders. Mortality rate of our young people. As a government, we say enough is enough. As a nation, synthetic drug and substance abuse bureaucracies. Sadly, its harmful effects have reached our doorsteps. Our young people are becoming increasingly addictive, which has become a death trap. Our government remains fully committed to combating drug and substance abuse and protecting the well-being of our citizens, particularly our youth. In the past, I constituted a presidential task force on drugs and substance abuse in our communities. We are making concerted efforts to combat this menace. But unfortunately, we are experiencing a surge in kush consumption and escalating fatalities among its users. It is my solemn duty as your president, acting on the power on me of the Constitution, to declare a national emergency on drug and substance use. With this national emergency on drug and substance abuse, we shall bring forces work and adopt a multifaceted approach to addressing the increasing Kush epidemic. Our fight against Kush should be a collective effort. I have directed the setting up of a national task force on drugs and substance abuse, with a particular focus on combating the rising Kush crisis. The national task force will be multi-sectorial, comprising key government ministries, departments and agencies, security and law enforcement agencies, community organizations, non-governmental organizations, development partners, religious organizations, and recovering people with substance use disorder to address drugs and substance abuse through a comprehensive strategy. The National Task Force will be responsible for implementing a 5-part strategy for a drug-free future, which includes 1, prevention. This includes awareness campaigns, promoting healthy alternatives, and deterring drug use. 2, care and treatment. In every district, we establish accessible treatment centers to offer care and support to people with drug addiction. 3, social services support. This is to provide comprehensive recovery services such as counseling, skills training, reintegration programs. 4, law enforcement. We dismantle the drug supply chain, so and prosecutions. Communities. Partnering with communities will be crucial in our fight. We encompass all sectors of society and will be replicated at the chiefdom, township, and district levels. Given the national emergency on drug and substance abuse, a presidential advisory team will supervise the National Task Force in our quest to eradicate Kush and other lethal drugs in our communities. The National Task Force will talk about its core mandates and objectives. I encourage all citizens and residents in Sierra Leone to embrace our fight against fully. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, in my New Year's Day address, I highlight in human capital development. Today, it is pleasing to know that we have more children in school, particularly girls, than at any other time in the history of this country. We have reduced the maternal mortality rate by 61. We continue to make modest investment in infrastructure, such as energy access, transportation networks, and internet coverage. As a nation, we can only continue to make an healthy environment. Today, Sierra Leone faces a critical public health emergency due to drug and substance abuse, particularly the lethal synthetic mix known as Kush. As part of our decisive action to combat this menace, our government shall intensify about the dangers of drug abuse, community outreach, and media campaigns, where we empower our youth with the knowledge and skills they need to make healthy choices and resist the temptation of drugs. Of course, we understand that addiction is a health-related challenge. That is, we are investing in rehabilitation and treatment facilities to provide support and care for those struggling with addiction. It is not enough to punish drug users or people with addiction. We must offer them the recovery and redemption. Capital development and our sustained efforts to move the country to minimum status by 2039 will come to naught if the largest base of our population, we are therefore intensifying efforts to create more jobs for B5 governments, especially through the flagship Fit for and the Youth Employment Scheme. By creating more jobs, we will be shutting down one of the biggest breeding grounds for addiction, which is idleness or unproductivity. At the same time, I say to anyone in the production, trafficking, and illicit trade of these drugs, there shall be no sacred cows in our quest to decide deal with caught in the act of peddling these drugs in our country and distribution networks. We will work tirelessly to disrupt the supply chain that feeds the epidemic and those responsible accountable for their actions. We would also empower our judiciary to act decisively and prioritize drug-related cases so that anyone arrested for the shipment, production, and illicit trading of the chemical components and final synthetic drug will be tried with the full weight of the law. But our fight against this epidemic cannot succeed solely through government actions. It requires the collective effort of every citizen, every community, every sector of society. We must come together as a nation to support one another, to look out for our neighbors, and to build a future where our youth can transform of addiction. Together, let us all say no to Kush. To our youth, I say, you cannot waste your youthful day on the altar of death-bound pleasure. Sierra Leone awaits your contribution. We must collectively rise to this challenge, as we have done in the past, to confront other epidemics like Ebola, COVID-19 in recent times. We must work together with courage, determination, and compassion. Let us stand united, resolved to overcome this epidemic and build a brighter, drug-free future for all. To every parent that has lost a loved one to Kush, this deadly substance, consciousness. May God bless Sierra Leone and guide us in our effort to protect our people and our nation. Thank you.